What's up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia. Today is October Scentsy Empties. Now this month I had a few misses and a few hits, so we're gonna get into it, but the reason I like to go over these with you is because you can hear my thoughts and impressions and how things performed in my environment, and that may help you decide if a product is gonna work for you, and so you can make an informed purchasing decision. So we're gonna start with non-wax items first. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is I finished a Laundry Love Bundle in aloe water and cucumber. So a Laundry Love Bundle has the washing liquid, laundry liquid it's called. It has a large 48-ounce tub of washer whiffs, and it has 4 dryer discs. So the thing that imparts the most fragrance are the washer whiffs. These I would say come in second, and imparting the least amount of fragrance for me I would say is the laundry liquid. Now this particular fragrance is really nice and fresh. It's like a clean, bright, sweet spa note. It's got the aloe, the cucumber, pineapple, and palm frond. And I find in laundry it's about a medium intensity. I would repurchase it though. I really like it. It's nice and fresh. All right, speaking of nice and fresh, I finished up a hand cream and sea salt and avocado. You can see I tried to get every little last bit. This is one of my favorite fragrances. It is available in wax, room spray, scent circle, maybe some other things, but it's no longer in body care. But the scent notes it says are pink sea salt, orange, and avocado. So it's just a very nice, oh, I love it. It's very nice and fresh and clean and green and vibrant. This is one of my favorite dish soaps. It's mandarin and mango nectar. Now this was a limited time offer scent, so I really hope we see it back. Oops, I got a little bit on me. Yes, very nice. I actually enjoy doing dishes. And in fact, when I finished with this one, I opened up the exact same fragrance, and I usually never do that. So I have one more left, and I'm hoping it's gonna come in the spring and summer catalog. All right, so I finished up one scent pack. This is the Monsters Inc. Monstropolis scent pack. This was pretty nice. It's almost like a blackberry, berry tone. It doesn't have a lot of fragrance here now. I usually hang my scent packs in my closet in the entranceway because that's where we put things that Drew has used to dry before we launder them. So it just kind of freshens the area up. I would say I get about a month to a month and a half, and then I prefer to change it just so I can get a better fragrance because they do start to fade. And sometimes if you want to get the scent going, you can just kind of reactivate. All right, I will just talk about 2 oils, and one of them I didn't like, and one of them I really didn't like. Sandalwood Lemon Basil. This one was okay. I shouldn't say I didn't like it, but I wouldn't choose to buy it again. It was, you know, a lemony sandalwood scent, which is kind of an odd combination, but this one I really didn't like, and unfortunately I have 3 left to go. This one came as part of the holiday three oil pack, but I really loved holiday shortbread, so I'm going to put up with Fig Cookie. This is very much like, it reminds me a lot of Midnight Fig. If you like Midnight Fig, you would probably like Fig Cookie. I do not really like Midnight Fig. It is returning in January, but I will be mixing it. And these were both strong. All right, so I'm going to talk about a car bar. This is my favorite scent in car bar. It's discontinued, so I won't talk a lot about it, but it is apple butter frosting. And this still has a little bit of scent. So what I think I'll do is I'll put it down in my purse where my masks are, and then my mask will smell like apple butter frosting, which is a beautiful bakery sweet scent. It is available in other products, so if you haven't tried it, pick them up to try. Now, at the end of the video, we're going to have a question of the month, and I'll just kind of foreshadow. It's going to be about pods. But let's talk about some pods that I finished up. Well, currently going in my car, I have 1 pod of Orchard Apple and Spice. And this one, it's doing very well in pods. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Evil Queen, but instead of molasses, there's like this cherry note, a soft cherry note. And it's doing very well in terms of strength. So I'm pretty pleased with this. Now the other pod we have a furnace room that has, it only really has electrical panel, a set tub, and a hot water heater mainly. And I put 1 pod in there because that room always has a weird, like just, you know, not musty, but like, I don't know, flat smell. So this is doing really well there. Now these two scents I've actually been mixing together. So this is pumpkin chai and pumpkin tiramisu. So pumpkin chai is available this year. I don't think it's in pods, but you can get it in wax. And pumpkin tiramisu has not returned in any form this year. These were both from the the harvest collection of 2020. So what I do is I put 1 pod of each in, like I mix them together and I put them in Drew's bedroom and adjoining kind of walk-in closet area on the days that I work. So when I come home, there's a nice fragrance. And pumpkin tiramisu is a boomer. So pumpkin chai is also fairly strong, but they are, you know, they have started to kind of wear down, but these lasted like, I usually warm them or run them probably 36 hours to 40 hours a week, maybe even 48 hours a week. And I've probably been going like 5 or 6 weeks with these, just because I usually do it on the days that I work. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to jump into the wax. I'll be 1 second. Okay, so let's get into the wax. And I must say, I've been warming like a crazy person, but because of the holiday bricks, I feel like there's not quite as much to go through, but let's still go through what I have. So in the Harvest collection, we have Toasted Acorn and Oak. This one is Toasted Acorn, Creamy Chestnut, and Golden Oak. I really enjoyed this one. It took me by surprise because it's more gourmand than it is like woodsy. So I would definitely give this a try if you like bakery scents, because that creamy chestnut kind of brings you into the bakery realm. And there is a little bit of oak that you get, and I'm not really sure what acorn smells like, but I do really enjoy this scent. I think I have 3 more bars to go, and the performance was pretty good. So I finished a pomegranate prosecco. The scent notes are roseberry, pomegranate, and pink prosecco. And I feel like I have a lot of berry fragrances right now, so I'm not really sure why I picked those, but this was a fairly strong scent. It was pleasant even for this non-fruity person. I really enjoyed this enough that I probably would pick up another one. It's fairly strong as well. So you definitely get reminiscent vibes of Dazzling Pomegranate. So if you like Dazzling Pomegranate, pick up Pomegranate Prosecco. I just finished this up in my daughter's room. It's Tinselberry. The notes are strawberry, cranberry, and sparkling sugar. Now, the best way for me to describe this is sugared strawberry with a festive makeover, because you definitely get that sugary strawberry macerated type fragrance. I would say there's very little cranberry, but there's like a glistening cinnamon sugar kind of twist to it. And it does kind of smell like kids' chapstick. If that's what you get from sugared strawberry, you're probably going to get it from here as well. I do find this is a short acting scent. So it's really strong. Well, not really strong. It's very saturated going out, and then it kind of fades after a few hours, and then you have a lower tiered fragrance. But Tinselberry, I don't know if I'd pick it up again, even though I'm not huge into strawberry. For some reason, I like this one, but we'll see. I probably don't need any more, but the next one we're going to talk about is Berry Blessed. So Berry Blessed is soft vanilla, cranberry, and sparkling sugar. Now this one is very strong. Yeah, and there's almost like a peach ring component in the background. And to me, like a tiny, if grapefruit had a candy, a sugary candy, it would be also in here. So this one is very, I wouldn't say holiday, fall, winter. You could probably warm this any time of year. It's fairly strong, and I think for longevity, it's pretty average, which is better for most berry scents. So Berry Blessed is a good one. If you like berry fragrances, I would give that one a try. Apple and cinnamon sticks. Okay, here we go. Apple cinnamon blend, white pumpkin, and earthy oak. This one is just not for me, folks. It's just not for me. If I see apple and cinnamon stick, I'm thinking apple and cinnamon. And then there's that earthy oak. It just kind of takes it to a cologne earthy level that I don't really care for. And it's fairly strong to my nose, fairly long lasting. Not a repurchase. I think I have 1 bar left to go, and that'll be it for me with apple and cinnamon sticks. This one I do love. See, it's a lot of hit, miss, hit, miss. I have Cedar Cider. This is a love of mine in the woods section. Red apples, cinnamon stick, vanilla beans, and white cedar. Yes, very pleasant, very well balanced. A nice room filler without being overbearing. This is really nice. I call this the sophisticated company is coming over scent. If you're not sure what to put in, if you put something like this in, I think people are going to be okay with it. There's a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of cedar, a little bit of apple, and it marries together to a nice combination. So I really like that. Cedar cider is definite repurchase for me. The next one is a licensed bar, Halloween Town. Now I had 6 cubes left of this one. The notes are cranberry, apple, and spiced cedarwood. And this reminded me quite a bit if you took winterberry apple tea and you kind of married a little bit of that cedarwood in with it. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. Now I really, really, really liked this in my entranceway. And then I put it in Ryan's room and I didn't really like it there. So it's just an example of how a scent can kind of work in one space better than another. But I did pick up one other bar and I think I have one in backup. So I think I have 2 of Halloween Town. That should be good. I'll enjoy it 1 cube at a time in my entranceway. And that's a good piece of advice. If there is a scent that you really, really like that you can't get anymore, warm it in a small area that you kind of frequent quite often so you can enjoy it just like 1 cube at a time. That's what I do. Anyway, Halloween Town. All right, the next 2 are from the Moment by Moment collection. As I film this video, these are still offered as a purchasing option. So the first one is Welcome Little One. The notes are cotton blossoms, citrus, and clean musk. So this one here reminds me of like a baby product that's a little bit like laundry-esque. Almost like you took a Johnson & Johnson baby product and turned it into a laundry product. That's what this reminds me of. It worked really well in my daughter's room in a 25-watt bulb warmer. It was a glass warmer, but it was strong, like stronger there with a full-size warmer. When I warmed it 1 cube at a time in the smaller zone of a bathroom, it just didn't have enough push from the warmer. So if you have Welcome Little One, I suggest putting it in a very strong bulb warmer versus a mini warmer. All right, the next one is Graduation. This one has notes of crisp apple, rich suede leather, and vintage musk. And to me, this reminds me of almost like a vendor wax version of like a library type scent, but it's very creamy. Almost like there's a lot of creamy vanilla in here. And I did warm this down in Liverpool, Nova Scotia when we went away for the weekend. So that was a really nice scent memory for me. And I finished it up here at home. It is kind of on the lighter side. Like I just wish I could turn it up a little bit. So in my bedroom, it might be like 5 or 6 out of 10. Now I always say this, my house is scent cluttered and I feel like my nose is scent cluttered. So maybe in another area, like when we went away, it seemed to work better there. So if you have a bar like this and it's light, and say you go to work and you rarely warm things there, it might be a good spot to warm a light scent because it's kind of like virgin scent territory. So things seem to work better. So I did have this in my Scentsy Club. I actually purchased 3 bars and I will remove it from my Scentsy Club because I do have 1 other bar. So even if I warm 1 a year, that'll be like 4 years. I think I'm good. And if I'm warming it in a bedroom, I'm only going to warm it like 2 cubes here and there. So it will last me. All right, here we go. One of my favorite things to show you. It's an empty brick. Bricks are hard to go through because they're almost 6 bars of wax in one big plastic clamshell. But this is Olaf Warm Hugs. This is available in bar size right now in the holiday collection. So the scent notes are cool mint, snow-covered woods, and warm vanilla. And this is just a feel-good scent. It's light. If you're someone that said to yourself, if you're a consultant, you say, I have a customer that likes lighter scents, what should I offer them? This would be a good choice. If you're someone that said, I have, I want to give a gift to a mom with a new baby, this would be great in their nursery. A small area bedroom bathroom scent. I'm going to repeat. Do not warm Olaf in a big area and hope you're going to get anything out of it because you probably won't. It's a small area scent. It's a beautifully well done scent. If you're someone that likes 100-acre wood, it's probably a little bit stronger than that, but not much. So anyway, that is Olaf Warm Hugs, just in terms of intensity, so you can get the idea. All right, before we move on to the scents of the month, I'll just tell you I warmed 1 clove and cinnamon. Now, do you know that I've never warmed a clove and cinnamon? And I kind of cheated. What I've been doing is going through some of my testers and any of these ones with the old packaging I've been warming, but I actually mixed this with another scent, so I wasn't exactly sure of it on its own, but this was extremely strong mixed with a neutral type scent. So very strong on the cinnamon and clove. More clove, but the cinnamon is a red hot style cinnamon. So very, very good performer. I mixed this with something as well. This is Very Merry Cranberry. So that has notes of like red berries, and I think it is it cedarwood? There's not a lot of wood in Very Merry Cranberry. It's mostly fruity cranberry with maybe some other red berries. Yeah, and the woods is like way below, way hidden in the background. So I did mix this with another scent, I'll tell you here in a second. All right, so let's talk about the scents of the month I warmed. I warmed Vanilla Blackberry. This has notes of blackberry, amber, and vanilla. And some people say this smells like marijuana. I've smelled like marijuana, especially there's this area I work, and sometimes if I walk up the subway, I have to walk by this house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all I can smell is marijuana. This does not smell like that house, but I can maybe see how some people would extrapolate that, but there's a lot of earthy, like I think there's patchouli in here, and there's that amber. The blackberry, this is a strong performer in my home. Like I had it in my daughter's room, and it was just overtaking everything. So I finished it off in all places, the garage and overnight warmers. So that usually means I don't really like the scent. So yeah, I'm not crazy about this scent, but I will say if you're someone that loves it, this is an excellent value scent because it's fairly strong. Like it's about a medium to a medium plus, but it's very long lasting, like extremely long lasting for me. So that is Vanilla Blackberry. Scary Good, scent of the month for September. This is pumpkin puree, cinnamon, toasted butterscotch, and creamy vanilla. I'm just looking at my notes over here. Scary Good. I'm not someone that loves pumpkin, so again, we're talking like hit, miss, hit, miss. This is probably a bit of a miss for me, and please don't shoot the daggers at me. But mixed, I'm okay. I'm okay if I mix this. I just don't prefer it on its own. It is kind of smoky, like it says toasted butterscotch, but I interpret it as a smokiness. So I think maybe that's what I don't like. It's very like pumpkin rich, a little bit of spice. It smells spicier on cold than I think it does when you're warming it. To me, I find like I get a lot of spice, but it's kind of like a pumpkin pie filling with some toasty smokiness. All right, and I won't talk a lot about this because it's coming up in Tester Tuesday, but I finished up November scent of the month, 1 clamshell icicles and evergreen. The notes are blue, eucalyptus, pine needle, and crystallized sugar. I will tell you that if you're a tree avoider, this might be a tree scent that you might be able to do. It's a pleasant tree. That's all I'm going to say. Tune in to Tester Tuesday video on Tuesday and you'll hear more about this one. All right, let's talk about some retired scents. Now, it's important to always hear about retired scents because sometimes these show up as bring back my bar voting options. You want to know if they're good performers and what the overall scent appeal is for most people. So the first one we'll talk about is Porch Pumpkin. This one is Fresh Picked Pumpkin, Acorn, and Autumn Air. This is a really versatile, basic pumpkin scent that doesn't have spice, and it's just kind of fresh. And I love this mixed with Johnny Appleseed. I actually mixed this with the Very Merry Cranberry just to switch things up. Yeah, and it's kind of a tiniest bit earthy, but mostly fresh pumpkin. So that is Porch Pumpkin. From my club, I finished up Woolly Slippers. This one is Sugared Lavender, Marshmallow, and Vanilla. I love this one. It's in my club. This is a very excellent mixer. The lavender doesn't take over the show, so you get a little bit more creamy marshmallow vanilla with an underlying base of lavender. So this is really good to mix with things if you want to add a creamy non-food type of bakery. Because it does, even though it says marshmallow, it doesn't really overly smell like butter and, you know, all that richness. It's more of a straightforward basic mixer. So this is would be a really good, I might actually mix this with Fuzzy Fleece or Fluffy Fleece, excuse me, Fluffy Fleece. I can't even remember the name of it half the time. Whether or not I can get it pronounced correctly, that's another thing. All right, this one used to be in my club for one of my friends, and she no longer needs to get it, so I removed it, but I contemplated keeping it, and it's Gingerbread Hugs. It says gingerbread with notes of vanilla and nutmeg. It's very pleasant. There's an airy freshness to this one. And I have Cozy Spice in my club, and to me, they're somewhat similar. Cozy Spice has a vanilla tone. This has a more airy gingerbread tone. I prefer Cozy Spice, so I said, I'm happy with what I've warmed. I have to learn to move on. All right, now from my friend Sharon in the US, she was kind enough to give me a partial brick of raspberry Danish. So this one had 4 cubes left. Now, ironically, so let me show you the packaging, and it's a little bit beat up. I think it got either beat up in transit or what, but that's okay. It still had a lot of scent, and my store director thinks it's probably from like 2010 or 2011. So this is what it looks like. I must say I really like this packaging because all the cubes are uniform. They're like rectangular, and you can cut them to size. Now, Sharon spent an arm and a leg to get this up to Canada, so I really appreciate it. Now, what I will say is this, let me tell you the notes. All right, let me show you so you can have something to visualize. It says loganberries, raspberry jam, brown sugar, and flaky pastry. Now, loganberries are kind of like a raspberry blackberry hybrid. So think of it that way. Now, I find you get mostly almost like a muffin, almost like a buttery, heavy muffin. So if you're someone that, when you smell butter, it like translates to popcorn, then this scent may not work for you. So it's mostly almost like a buttery, fluffy muffin with a few raspberries studded through. I would prefer a tiny bit more raspberry. Now, to be honest, Scentsy doesn't do good raspberry scents in my opinion. I have one called Revved Up Raspberry, and please do not vote for that one back. It was very, very perfumey. So I would love and raspberry is hard to get like authentic, but this was very pleasant in my entranceway. I tried it in different areas. It does really well in my bonus room. It does really well everywhere, to be honest, for wax that is like 10 years old. It's crazy. But in my entranceway, I just loved it there. So I really kind of worked on it there, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I would like to see this come back, especially for my friend Sharon, so she can enjoy it and she doesn't have to use up all these old packaging bars that she's probably hoarding. So that is raspberry Danish. All right, before we move to the bring back my bars, I'm just going to talk quickly about a few testers. I have passion fruit colada. This one has, let me read you the notes. I have it written down on another page. Honeydew, passion fruit, and sugarcane. What I do remember about this is very fruity. I enjoyed it, and it's kind of strong. 2 little testers in my bathroom. I could smell it like, you know, it wasn't like super enveloping of the bedroom, but it was definitely good in a small zone. So that is passion fruit colada. I'm sure if I had more wax, it would work a lot better. All right, here's a miss. I don't really like the scent. It's the scent Quiver. This one here has notes of vanilla flower, warm sandalwood, and sultry tuberose. No, this is not for me. It's very perfumey, and it just, there's something about it just doesn't read well for me. So, but so many people love this, so I'm sure there's other people that agree with me, but I think I'm definitely in the minority here. Quiver is fairly strong. Now, this was an old tester. It didn't do as well as bars that I've had in the past. So that, if you like perfumey scents, yeah. If you like perfumey scents that are strong, then think about voting back Quiver. Now, this is one that I did really like. Zephyr. Zephyr, it says French lavender, buttery suede, rich woods. It says a strong and sensuous fragrance. So this is more masculine, but this was very pleasant. I remember warming this a long, long time ago, and it kind of won me over back in the day. So I do really like this, and I would vote it back and bring back my bar. Now, performance was light to medium. Yeah, and it could be the age of the tester, I'm not sure. All right, so I have some bring back my bars to go over with you. The first one is pumpkin marshmallow. This is a miss. On scent appeal, this is a miss for me. Sticky sweet marshmallow, fresh baked pumpkin, and graham cracker crust. No, not one for me. It smells like there's like this weird marshmallow tone. No, and with like canned pumpkin. And it just doesn't amalgamate well to my nose. Now, I think this was the one I mixed with clove and cinnamon, so it kind of disguised this a little bit. All right, the next one we have is cherry almond pie. This one is returning in January. Graham crackers, sweet almond cream, and cherries. This is a very strong fragrance, a little bit of an artificial cherry and almond scent. Very much almond extract heavy. I don't really get the graham cracker so much. Yeah, sometimes when I warm it, it smells like a Tootsie Roll in the background. So that one I'm okay. Like some days I like it, some days I love it, some days I don't like it. So I don't know. It's a mood scent for me for sure. The next one I have is Coffee Tree. This says rich aroma of freshly roasted coffee beans. I did have this in my club and I removed it. I just don't think it's a great coffee scent. I think that Scentsy needs to go to Coffee University because they need help with their coffee. Like a lot of vendor wax companies do really great coffee blends, and Scentsy's blends smell like perfumey or cologne-y as a backdrop, which doesn't really ring true to my nose. And sometimes I smell it stronger than others. Like in the empty clamshell right now, it just doesn't work for me. So I removed it. I will have to get coffee elsewhere. So no more Coffee Tree for me. I think I have 1 bar left, or maybe 2. The next one I really liked is Silhouette. So this is heliotrope, which we've learned about from Fluffy Fleece, orange blossoms, lavender, and patchouli. This is a really, really hard scent to explain, but it reminds me of a more earthy version of Love Story. So Love Story was kind of floral and kind of like sophisticated, and this is a little bit more like Love Story was maybe spring, summer sophisticated floral, and this is more fall, winter sophisticated floral. So I really like that one. But it's one of those ones that sometimes it's hard to pick up in the room, and then other times you can pick it up no problems. We're gonna finish things off with Cranberry Spice, cloves, ginger, and tart cranberry. This one here, I feel like it's losing scent. And I feel like I smell Dr. Pepper plus like a waxy cranberry plus some spices. So I would say it's about a 1.5 dayer, and then it kind of drops off. And the strength is about a medium intensity. So I don't think I'd repurchase or vote it back, but I remember back in the day when I first got it, I really enjoyed it. So just kind of an example of how things change, and maybe, like I said, it could be the age of the bears. All right, so let's talk about our question of the month. It has to do with pods. And what I want to know is, I want to know from you guys what your overall impression of the pod system is. Not talking about the go and all those things. I want to know about the pods. Have you noticed strength variations? Have you noticed variations with the wax? And have you noticed pods decreasing in intensity over time as they age in their pod shells? So just, yes, any of those topics you want to touch on with pods, or if you have something else that's a little bit different. Recently, I've gone through and dated all my pods, and I'm making a goal of using up my oldest ones first. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. If you found this video helpful or informative, please give me a thumbs up so I can get that feedback from you. If you're new and you'd like to hear about Scentsy content, good, bad, or medium, please hit the subscribe button, and I will keep you up to date as best I can on all things Scentsy in my life. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.